Hey friends, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina. I am here with you early morning before my store opens to go over some nice options for lightweight travel car seats. So we're going to be doing a whole series of these videos. This one that you are watching is about the Maxi Cosi Romi. So to be perfectly frank, I'm not sure how new this car seat is for Maxi Cosi. I think it's relatively new because it was not on my radar until another store owner pointed it out to me. So you know who you are, thank you. But we both got excited because it's an ultra lightweight car seat. It's clocking in at around 7.5 pounds. So it might be a nice option for a travel car seat for you and your family. So if you're thinking, gee, why would I get a travel car seat? Maybe your everyday car seat, like let's say you had a Kleck Foomph, that beast clocks in at about 38 to 40 pounds, depending on the configuration that you have it set in. So the thought of hauling that through the airport is kind of overwhelming. Additionally, the travel bags on a lot of the nicer seats are going to run you anywhere from $150 up to $300, depending on the bag. That's more than some of these travel car seats cost altogether. So, another thing, maybe you're just looking for a lightweight, inexpensive car seat. We're gonna get you a lot of information. So be sure to check out the other videos, but we're starting today with the Romi. So this is gonna be Maxi Cosi's offering. One thing that I think they've done really well with this particular car seat is the green aspect of it. So the fabric on it is going to be pure cozy. That's their fabric that doesn't have additional fire retardants on it, so we love that. This black color is very slick looking. It's not your typical ugly, you know, inexpensive, junky looking car seat. It looks quite beautiful, actually, for the price. But there are some limitations about this seat, so let's get into that. First and foremost, comes with a removable cup holder, top rack, dishwasher safe, so that's exciting. The head pad that you see in here is only for rear-facing mode use. That's what the book says. And additionally, the seat has 3 buckle position adjustments down here at the bottom in between the legs. You're going to want to use the position closest to your child but not underneath them. So that's something to keep in mind. And something else cool about the seat that I noticed while I was reading the instruction book is there's actually, and I don't know if this is able to be seen, but we have harness slots that come from here. Also, if you have a really small child, you can rethread those harness slots to go and loop closer on the interior of the seat. We're not going to get into doing that because it's a little bit involved, but a nice feature on a seat this little. Something else to keep in mind is the price point of this seat. I believe this one retails for $129, so it's an excellent value. They also indicate that you can hook up the tether strap with the lower anchors and use it as a shoulder strap to carry it through the airport. I did look through the instruction book. I wasn't able to find that information with guidance from the brand, so I was a little disappointed about that because they definitely advertise it that way, but then they don't tell you how to use it that way. So something that I'll have to do more research on, but that is definitely a way that they advertise it. So yeah, things to know about the seat. It is going to work in rear-facing mode, so it's a backward-facing car seat, but it's also a forward-facing car seat. The other thing to keep in mind is that the rear-facing here is going to start at 5 pounds. Realistically, I probably wouldn't feel confident putting a baby that little in a seat like this, but that would be true of a variety of seats that don't have any body bolster underneath. I think it would be difficult to get the recline adjusted perfectly for a baby without head and neck control. So that's something to keep in mind with this seat. There is no level indication on the seat itself. They do have, and I don't know if you're able to see this, and that's why I have the lights, this black line on the seat that says it needs to be parallel with the ground when you're installing it. This would mean that you would need to have good lighting when you install it and not install it on a hill. You're going to want to install it on level ground for rear facing just to make sure you get that level angle accurate. So things to keep in mind there. The seat does come with lower anchors. They are easier to use than your typical hook anchor. So on a seat at this price point, even though it's for travel, I like that they haven't cheaped out on this particular feature. Now it's not an ISO fix, or excuse me, it's not a Go latch, which would be my preference just because like I'm partial to things, but it's still easier than that hook style, so we really like that. The other thing is that because the seat is so lightweight, you can most likely, you're going to need to check with your vehicle manual, but you're most likely going to be able to keep it installed using the lower anchors in both rearward and forward facing for this seat. So some seats, especially in forward facing mode, if the seat plus the weight of the kid gets too heavy, you have to reinstall the seat with a seat belt versus utilizing the lower anchors. It's nice with a seat that's this light that you would be able to use those lower anchors all the way through. So some of the drawbacks. This is a seat for smaller children. The interior depth is going to be 11 inches, and the tallest shoulder harness height, which is here from the bottom of the seat, I clocked it in at around 13 inches. That is very, very low. The lowest rear to forward seat that I currently carry that's more expensive than this is going to have a 15-inch seated torso height. So once their body gets too long for this seat, for forward-facing mode, we can no longer utilize this seat. Keep in mind that it only holds 40 pounds in a rear-facing direction, and I'm confident in forward-facing, it also tops out at 40 pounds. So it's definitely meant for littler kids. This probably wouldn't be suitable for a 5, 6, 7-year-old, but for a smaller child, it's an awesome choice. The other thing about it would be 11 inches, 13 inches. Overall width was around 16, which is great if you're in a 3 across situation on your vacation, you're just worried that it's not going to fit. It definitely will fit. But keep in mind, for older, bigger kids, likelihood of outgrowing this seat rapidly is higher than other seats. But again, at $129, you might not feel terrible about that. As far as, you know, ease of the harness on seats that are in this price range, it is probably going to be a little bit harder to tighten and loosen. It's also the way that harness is threaded underneath the seat where it's all connected in one piece. You may find that one side feels longer than the other and you'll need to sort of readjust and recenter it because it's all one looped connected piece versus some car seats will have individual pieces. The other thing to keep in mind about seats that are in this price range, and again, why this is great. Currently, I can only think of one car seat that's really advertised for travel. That's going to be the Wavy Pico. That's an awesome car seat, but it's forward facing only. And what do we know? Positioning of a child in a seat is going to be the most critical aspect of it. So this seat would enable you to do the rear facing up to 40 pounds. If you have a 2-year-old, I would always advise you put them in rear facing mode versus forward facing mode, even on vacation. Even if your state law doesn't say that you have to do that, they are going to be 80% safer sitting backward than sitting forward. This seat, being lightweight and being able to go on an airplane, is going to enable you to do that rear-facing seated situation when you get to your destination. So that's really the big benefit here. Now, that being said, the seat's very green. It has a lot of beautiful features. It is short-lived. The other thing about seats sort of in this price point and at this weight is that when we start to peel away the fabric, the seat itself, and I don't know this for sure, so we're both going to see at the same time. Yeah, as I suspected, it's just a plastic shell. We have no type of EPS or EPP shock foam in the seat at all. I'm feeling around on both sides and behind the head specifically, like a bike helmet. If you've ever looked at your car seat and seen pieces of foam on the interior, foam adds weight, but it also helps with slowing down the amount of time the force takes to transfer to the body. So it encourages, you know, that better ride down situation. So if we were to do a seat like this, having it in the rear facing mode is still going to be safer than forward facing. We know that for sure. But keep in mind, we're always going to give up something to get something. So we gave up the extra safety benefit of additional layers of foam in order to make it lightweight for carrying it somewhere or possibly travel. So you do get a strong value for dollar, but it's really important to understand the things that it's going to be lacking compared to a heavier duty, heavier car seat. So that is sort of the long and short of the Maxi Cosi Romi. If you have questions or comments, oh, another cool thing about this seat, when it came, it did not come in plastic packaging. So if you order one and you get it and it's in a box and it's not in a plastic bag, but you wanted pure cozy because it didn't have chemicals, you may need to reassess what you understand about green, because they are making efforts to be more green and less plastic is better. So I really do think that that's an awesome feature, but not a bad value, something to consider. If you have questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. I love hearing any questions that you would have to say. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Check out my video on the Costco Sonera and also the Graco Contender. And then I'm doing a video comparing all three, so you might enjoy that as well. Thanks so much, and we hope to see you at our next video. Please be sure to hit like and subscribe and suggest the channel to anybody else that might be interested.